Live.
All right, guys. What's up, guys? John here, Titan Talk Tuesday. What is going on? Dr. Vanessa Silveira, what's going on? What's going on, guys? How you guys all doing? We got a great show for you guys. I do anyway. So we're going to talk about a lot of great things. And it's Tuesday, so it's a great day. Titan Talk's going on. We're almost to Wednesday, which is hump day. That means we're almost halfway through the week, right? So that's always a bonus. But yeah, so we're going to talk about a lot of great things today. So first one, what's going on, TL Prep? D. Roy, what's going on? Tusa in the house, how are you doing? All right, the Brian Walton, what's going on? Phoenix, what's going on? Yeah, what's going on up there? All right, so let's talk about all these great things that we got here on Titan Talk. Fitness DMK, waiting for everybody to get in here. But let's rock and roll. I got to make today a kind of a short Titan Talk. I'm actually leaving to go down to Miami tonight. Chipping off tomorrow for Sharice's birthday for a couple days. So, All Antioxidants, thank you so much. I'm definitely hooking you up. So, let me know how you like those leggings and stuff like that too. And make sure they got out to you. I want to make sure you got them, all right? Hulk Squad in the house. What's up, dude? I seen 32 hours. He was like 32-hour shift. Still got to go to the gym and work. That's a beautiful thing. I know some people, they talk about, I worked so hard today. I worked 11, 12 hours. And I just don't feel like going to the gym. Like, what are you talking about here? Like, all right, listen, everybody has to work. All right, you might have to work some longer hours. And at that point, you're probably going to get paid more because of overtime. And you got to make it a priority. If it was that easy to just make excuses, that's what everybody does. They make excuses and they go home. And at that point, they don't do what they're supposed to do. Like, I'll just do it tomorrow, right? And it never usually happens, or they just keep delaying. You have to make it a priority. Nobody is going to give it to you. I tell my son this every day. I'm like, listen, man. I'm like, if you want the six pack and you want some bigger muscle, and you want to be faster and all this, you're gonna have to train and exercise. Without this, you're not gonna be able to do it. And at that point, I can't do it for you. I wish I could. I know that's bad, but if I could do it for my son, I'd do it. Just because I love him so much and I want him to have the best, right? But it even if I wanted to, I can't do it. I mean, I give him the best coaches, I give him this, that, but ultimately, it's going to come down to his effort in prioritizing time management and following through with what he needs to do. So it's all good. Mel DePoy, what's going on? AF, what's going on? All right, so let's talk about glutathione, right? That's the first topic of the day. So it's a therapy we offer here at Titan Medical Center. And if you guys don't know what glutathione is, right, because there are some people out there that don't, and it's okay, right? Glutathione is a super antioxidant, right? And Tusa, she got 3. You're definitely getting hooked up. I'm hooking you up today, all right? I'll hook you up with some extra gear just for support, and I really appreciate it. So, glutathione, super antioxidant, produced in the liver. Naturally, it's produced in your body, okay? And it's produced in the liver, and what happens is with, toxins in the environment, free radicals in the body, sickness, if you have an unhealthy lifestyle, smoking, drinking, this all depletes glutathione out of your body, okay? Low glutathione levels can cause, other negative health effects, right? And it will take out, basically, or balance off negative side effects if there is good glutathione in the body and a good abundance of it. So, if you have low glutathione, you might have a poor immune system, and free radicals might be just going crazy in your body. And what happens with free radicals, if you let free radicals go crazy, and oxidative stress on the body happens, this can change your DNA, right? And that's crazy, right? Change your DNA. But yes, it can. So your mitochondria, it's within that as well. These things can all be affected by oxidative stress. Now, the benefits of glutathione, right? So glutathione's a super antioxidant, like I said before, but here's what it's really good for. Boosting the immune system. Taking away inflammation. So rheumatoid arthritis, that's a big one out there. It does help with regular arthritis too as well. Liver functions. So ALT, AST, when you do a blood test and you do a comprehensive metabolic panel, it's called a CMP. And most doctors, general doctors, will run this on you. That's one of the tests that they usually do run on you. Because a CMP covers like your kidneys, glucose levels. It'll cover liver functions, electrolytes, but your two main ones are your vital organs, right? So kidneys and liver functions. So liver, your ALT, AST, will have two different readings, right? And those readings will be affected by diet, basically like if you're having some sort of problem with your liver, like a lot of alcohol abuse, acetaminophen, taking a lot of that, this could affect these numbers. And how do you lower these numbers? Because most people that go to general practitioners, if they do run the CMP and they see the liver comes back a little bit high, they're like, oh, you just got a fatty liver. Well, what does that mean? Okay? And a fatty liver is something that is basically not working optimally. Your liver is not working optimally, and it usually comes from the diet. And so they usually say, just change your diet and you'll be okay. Now, this can affect the diet. If your diet gets better and, the liver starts working better, that can definitely help it. But what will really help the liver functions? And that's glutathione. So glutathione will literally bring their ALT, AST numbers down tremendously. Now, we see it all the time because your liver is your filter to your body. So anything you're taking in orally, it's going through and processing through the liver, right? So if you're taking a lot of oral supplements, this can cause liver issues or damage. And your liver is very strong, right? It can definitely rejuvenate itself, but it needs to take some of the stress off of it. And glutathione will definitely help liver functions come down so you can get them in normal range. So if you have a fatty liver, right? Or you're taking a lot of oral supplementation and you don't know that it's damaging your liver until you do a blood test. And you're like, oh my God, it's 130 and 150 ALT, AST. Like normal doctors are probably going to look at you like, uh-oh, we're in trouble here. But it's something that usually can get fixed. Unless it's like hepatitis, right? You can usually fix the liver functions, your enzymes, ALT and AST. And glutathione is one of the main proponents to really do this. And it's something that your body is already producing, right? It's something that's good for your body. So you're not introducing something that's not natural to the body or can do damage to the body, right? That's one of the big things about it. Now, it's good for a lot of other things too, like Crohn's disease. We've had a lot of patients that have Crohn's disease that take it. The other ones out there, they use it with Parkinson's in some cases. But oxidative stress is another big one. Balancing out free radicals. Now, getting rid of all free radicals in the body is bad too. So it's all about balance, right? Your body's all about balance, and it's an ecosystem. So these things are things that you need to take with some importance and make sure that everything is correct and where it should be optimally. So when we talk about oxidative stress, a lot of people don't understand oxidative stress. So let me break it down to you guys in layman's terms. And then I'll answer some of these other questions too, all right? So let's talk about some of these other ones. So when we talk about oxidative stress, let's talk about oxidation. So oxidation in real world, layman's terms. So when we talk about oxidation, think about a bumper or chrome, right? If you guys are from up north or you're down here in Florida. If you're from up north, when you're going down the streets in winter, they've been salted and it gets all over your rims if they're chrome or the metal on back or underneath, and that's where rust happens, right? It's oxidation. So with this, our bodies have rust inside, like oxidation, right? Oxidative stress. And with antioxidants, and especially glutathione, because it's the mother of antioxidants, this gets rid of the rust inside, right? So it makes us healthier, right? There are some studies too with glutathione increasing sperm counts. That's another big one out there. I don't name that as the top priority because I think, helping the liver, helping inflammation, helping oxidative stress, free radicals in the body. This is where I think the big importance should be with glutathione. And building the immune system, stronger immune system, stronger fortified immune function. That's another big plus, especially with what happened this last year and a half. But don't even worry about that. Think about everything else, bacterial infections, viral infections, and I'm not talking about the one that just happened, but different ones out there, right? Common colds and stuff like that. And being around different people, traveling in airports, traveling on buses. These are things where you're coming in contact with a lot of germs, a lot of bacteria, and you want to make sure your immune system is fortified and as strong as it could possibly be. So that's where glutathione really comes into play, and it's a really, really big, important therapy here at Titan Medical Center. With me, I take it daily. You can take it every day. You can take it every other day. If there's different functions as far as when it's prescribed. If you're having really high ALT, AST numbers, usually 200 milligrams, 2 to 3 weeks, we retest, and those numbers are coming right down where they need to be at. So it's definitely a great therapy and works for everybody out there, and can help a lot in a lot of different ways. And let's start answering some of these different questions out here. So I want to give a big shout out to Ange Tusa for supporting with the badge. She bought 3 from me today. I really appreciate it. It's not about that, but I appreciate the support. And Ange, you call or text the number. I'm hooking you up with some new gear. All right? Dwayne Shaw, what's going on? All right, so Fitness DK, there's always time if you want it bad enough. And I agree with that. We were talking about exercising. You know what I'm saying? So Hawk Sweat said, well said. Minotas, hey man, what's going on? How are you doing? I hope all is well with you. Atomic Raps, what's going on? Tinker CF, what's going on? I appreciate you always supporting us. Dream Woman, what's going on? 21, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, you guys out there, or ladies, please shout them out. I'm going to go through them right now. So Fitness DMK said, I was just told that I have a cold. That's instead of giving me a cough or sore throat, gave me a huge rash on my trunk. So what kind of cold was this? Did they say it was viral, bacterial? Did they give you any antibiotics or anything like that? Please let me know, Fitness DMK, okay? Usually rash, rash can be a lot of different things. I mean, even us people, right? Us people that grew up in the 80s and stuff like that. Like I was born in 81, okay? And my brother was 9.5 years older than me. And at that point, he caught chickenpox at school. He brought him home and he gave me chickenpox. That was one. I still remember it today. It sucked. It was so itchy. You had all these little bumps all over your body. And if you picked them and scratched them, they'd scar. You had calamine lotion all over you. Oatmeal baths for some people. But now our kids these days have vaccines. So they don't ever catch chickenpox. But for us lucky people, yes, us people, that have caught chickenpox before, now you're at risk for shingles. Now, there is a shingles vaccine when you get older, but this is something that can happen too as well, and it can cause... Now, there's a difference between a rash and shingles. It's a lot more painful, I think, for shingles than it is a rash. I never caught shingles, thank God, but I have seen it, and I have asked people the experiences about it, and they say it's a lot more painful than just a regular general rash. But if it's just a regular general rash, I mean, they should be able to give you some sort of topical corticosteroid that you can put on it that should bring down inflammation and help you out there, okay? Cortisol levels do go up, right? That's true. All right, so Claudio Viana, what's going on? Smoke Wealthy, what's up? Andy Smith, all right, so Real Johnny Davis. AOD got me sweating, yeah. All right, so AOD, Advanced Obesity Drug 9604. It's a modified sequence of amino acids to 171. 171 of the sequence of growth hormone. It's not growth hormone. It's not going to give you high sugar levels, glucose levels. It's not going to create growth in different cells and bad parts in the body too as well. But it's going to help metabolism. It's going to help for lipolysis. So that means it's destroying fat, right? Eradicating, and lipogenesis, making sure that your body is using this non-fat foods or nutrients in your body and not storing them as fat, okay? So it's really, really good. I'm glad you're getting some good results there. All right, Leon, what's on? Jordani, what's going on? Boreed, you guys are professional and have me getting back to good health. So happy to hear this, and that's what we're here for. Some guy came in the other day, and he was an older guy, and he was like, oh, I just feel so down, and before I used to be jacked. And I'm like, listen, it's not about being jacked. It's about being healthy and having, good days, right? Being in a good mood, being happy, right? And having good health. It doesn't matter about being jacked. It's really about being and having good health. Now, if you want to get a better aesthetic appearance, you work for it. But that's all coming with having better health too as well, all right? So I'm glad, Boreed, 70, thank you so much. Manitatis, too much protein is bad as well, right? So that's what they say. They say that too much protein can cause stress on the kidneys, right? Now, depending on how much protein you're intaking, it could be a lot of protein because they say 1 to 1.5 grams per body pound. So if you're 200 pounds, you're talking about 200 pounds, or if it's 1.5, you're talking about 300. And that's a lot of protein to intake per day. So unless you're sitting down and eating steaks chicken breast all day long, you're probably never ever going to hit that 300 grams. Now, if you weigh less, obviously it's less grams. Let's say it's 180 pounds. You're still going to be a lot of grams to ingest there. I mean, even if you were to drink, how many protein shakes? You drink, if it was a 40 gram protein shake, you'd have to drink at least, what, seven protein shakes at 40 grams, right? And that's only 20, that's 280 grams. So at that point, you're still falling a little short. And you're probably not going to be doing that. You're probably going to have some meals, and it's better to have real food anyway. It's not bad to have a shake if that's the only thing around, or it's like post-workout and you're not going to eat for a couple hours, like me. Then I'll intake it because I want my body to keep going, keep growing, right? And give it when it needs. You got to give it when it needs. Colto Gene, what's going on? All right, so, all right. Fergalicious, how you doing? Thank you for joining us. DMK, thank you for the badge. I appreciate that. You're welcome. Always going to support. Titan has changed my life in the last 3 months. That right there is priceless and worth everything. There's nothing that can compare to that. Helping somebody change their life. Having that effect in a positive light, not a negative light, but a positive light, that is priceless to me. It motivates me even more, and I know Sharice for a fact. When we talk about things like this, because we're heavily involved every day, been here since 8:30 in the morning, didn't go to bed till 2 in the morning because of some of this stuff at Titan. And it's just important to us, it's important for us to hear this feedback because it drives us. It makes us want to be better and want us to really help people and know that we're doing a good job doing this. I mean, it's really awesome. So Fitness DMK, so prednisone, that's probably going to bring down the inflammation. That's a good oral. They could give you a topical too as well. They should find out what it is though. I mean, it's got to be something. It's just breaking out with a rash. It's really weird. Keith Titan Smith, what's going on, my dude? Cordy Holland, what's up? Body by D Model, what's up? How you doing? Jay, what's up? T Morpheus, what's going on? Christian, Strength Addicts, what's up, brother? All right, Real Johnny Davis, hey John, could I take half the OD dosage in the morning and half at night? You could. You definitely could. I would take it on an empty stomach in the morning, at least 15, 20 minutes before a meal, and then right before bedtime if you're going to do something like that. Okay? Delta Charlie, what's going on? Jay Embry. John, going for my first blood work this weekend. Big J sent me to you. All right, my dude. So Big J's my guy. I was just with him today, actually. He cut me up, in his beautiful new location. Big shout out to Big J the Barber. Razor's Edge, Tampa, Florida. And Dale Mabry and Waters, right over by the Gold's Gym. Beautiful place. And, of course, he's got those beautiful blue and white colors in there. Gotta love that. But, yeah, known Jay for a long, long time. Does a great job. And, obviously, he knows what we do here. And he knows how we've helped people. And he can definitely back that. So, Big Drew in the house. Big Drew. What's up, brother? All right, Illmatic 316, Titan Tuesday. Big Drew said 1 ml a day keeps the doctor away. Glutathione. It's one of the best, guys. I'm telling you. It can help you in a lot of different ways. It makes you feel better. It's good for the immune system. Great for liver functions. Free radicals, right? Oxidative stress on the body. These are all good things. Inflammation. Inflammation is a big one, too. It's a big herder on the body. It can cause a lot of other negative health problems, too, as well. So look into that. Can't look good if you don't feel good. Ain't that the true Hulk Squad? For sure, 100%. I say it all the time. Health should be your number one priority. Because without your health, if you have bad health, you're in bed, you're sick, you're not doing anything. You're not going to work, you're not training, you're not doing any modeling shoots, you're not having any concerts you're going to. Whatever you like to do, just put that aside because you're sick and you're in bed and you're unhealthy. So, and unhealthy people, it doesn't have to be them directly in bed right away. But as it goes on, things get worse and worse and worse. And in the long run, if you keep that going, I mean, you're ultimately going to be there, not feeling good, sick in bed, right? Justin Caviar, what's up, dude? How you doing? All right, Big Drew said real food for the win. I agree with that 100%. I was just telling somebody that today in Jay's shop. It's good. Illmatic, what's up, dude? I hope all is well with you too as well. And Tusa, I'm on week 2 of my second month of AOD. I know it's recommended to use for 60 days, and I can I use it longer? So you can use it longer. It's not something that does build up a tolerance in the body, so you can use it continuously a longer period of time too if you want. Okay, just on Facebook. Sorry. No problems. Okay, Brad Nichols, what's the average dose a week? So is this Glutathione we're talking about. Jesse Correa, Titan Tuesday. What's up, dude? Mom, what's going on? My mom's been on here. Oh, man. Darren, AOD. How is it injected? Is it in the muscle or under the skin? So AOD is usually injected subcutaneously. And it's usually, in the stomach area, like subcutaneous. You can pull a little subcutaneous fat there and then inject it at a 90-degree angle, and at that point, you're going in from the side. 45-degree angle. Yeah. So at that point, you can do it intermuscular too as well. It will work either way. But, recommendation dosage wise and by provider, it's usually subcutaneous. All right. You're welcome. Kushla Fair, what's going on? The Osamama, what's going on? I love these names, guys. The Cerna Man, what's going on? Pork Daddy Morton, what's up? VVR, what's going on? Dr. Digestion, how you doing? Resurgent Fire Films, Body by D Model. What's your perspective on HGH? Okay, so let's talk about this because it's a subject that comes up quite a bit. And then there's, over-the-counter things that say it's HGH, but it's really not HGH. And people think, oh, man, I need HGH now, right? So let's talk about HGH, human growth hormone. And it goes right along with AOD, so it's perfect. So here's my take on HGH. I think it could be good, right, in use. The only bad thing is that it can cause negative effects. So raising glucose levels is not a good thing. And if it's raising glucose levels in people that already have high glucose, this is where type 2 diabetes can come into play. So that's not a good thing. The other thing, and this can happen with some of the peptides too as well, like CJC and Imperellin, is growth of cells. So we know that HGH is going to grow cells. Now, it doesn't pick out the cells it wants to grow. It doesn't say, you're going to grow, you're not going to grow, you're going to grow, and you're not going to grow, right? It's basically going to grow everything in the body. So at that point, if there is cancerous cells, this can grow and expedite those cells' growth. And that's going to be a very negative effect. The other thing after that is that different body parts can grow. Ears, forehead, nose, jaw lines can kind of change. I mean, a lot of things can change with this. So that's kind of a negative downside to it, right? The other thing, it's very expensive. Real growth hormone from real pharmacies prescribed is very expensive. I don't care at what you do. And the dose you're going to take is going to be very minute for the money that you're going to pay. So, that's another negative side effect, another negative downside, not a side effect, but another negative downside to it. After that, providers like medical, doctors and practitioners and stuff like that, they don't want to prescribe it because the DEA, even though it's not a controlled substance, looks highly down on prescribing it. And they don't want to prescribe for anything like anti-aging, recovery. So let's say you injure your knee and you want human growth hormone recovery, no go. That's not a good diagnosis and not a good way to prescribe it. It's obviously not good for weight loss is what they're saying. Now it could help in a lot of these different ways too. Not to say it won't, because it will. But the other negative side effect is they don't, or the other downside, I keep saying side effect. The other downside to it is DA does not like it prescribed for anything other than dwarfism, right? Or growth hormone deficiency disorder. And for that, you have to take a lot of blood tests, or some blood tests are going to take a long time to do. So these are different things that I don't like about it. Like I said, if it's used for the right purpose, I think that it could have some benefits, but there's a lot of people that abuse it. And by abusing it, that's when these negative things happen, and that's when it brings a black eye to it, okay? So that's my take on it. Now, on the flip side to that, there are other things that probably will work almost as good, okay, and might not have all the negative side effects that come with growth hormone. Like AOD. That's another good one, right? If we're looking for weight loss portion, a lot of people that take growth hormone are looking for weight loss. Because growth hormone is not gonna jack you up. It's not a mass building medication. It's more for leaning out purposes and stuff like that. Boosting metabolism function. But that's where AOD comes into play, because we talk about the 176, right, amino acid sequence chain that's modified from the original 191 that's in growth hormone. So if we're looking for that function, we got it, right? And then, when we're looking for other things, IGF-1, LR3, I think it's just as good. That's like almost taking growth hormone, but going straight to the finish line instead of running the race. And then you're talking about a big price. It's like a third of the cost. So that right there is a big benefit right away. And that's where I would like to see people doing. Either that, CJC 1295 within Perelin. You're talking about two great peptides that are growth releasing hormone peptides. They're going to work with your body. They're not going to overly abundantly stimulate the pituitary. So at that point, even with growth hormone, if you take it for long extended periods of time, it's kind of like, when you take testosterone. If you take testosterone, you don't need testosterone, you're going to suppress your natural function in most cases. And with this, it's going to be hard for your body to reboot on. And when it reboots on, it's probably not going to come back the way that it was working before or previous. Now, if it's in the toilet not working good at all, that's one thing. But most people are normal, average to above average to where it needs to be. So that's where these other things like CJC 1295 and the Perelin come into play. They work with your body to stimulate your own natural production of growth hormone. And at that point, that's, I think, to me, is a better substitute, a third of the cost. And, it'll make sure that you live a better life and hopefully not get any of the negative side effects, right? And that's what it's all about. It's all about getting the benefits without having negative side effects, or minimal if you're going to do something. All right. Fancy pack. Stacy, what's going on? My girl Stacy Masita, fanny packs on here. My girl. All right. So how does drinking alcohol affect the results? So obviously there are a lot of studies on alcohol, right? And alcohol and protein synthesis, obviously that's affected. The way that your body is going to respond. So you might not get, just for layman's terms, I'm going to break it down. You might not get as good as gains as you would with not drinking alcohol. That's one thing that does affect the body. So, if you're going to say, listen, I want the best effects, but I don't want to drink alcohol, or I do want to drink alcohol, it's probably not going to be in your best bet. Now, drinking alcohol is okay. I truly believe it's all about balance. And even me, right? I like to have a couple drinks. Like, I'm going to go here on this trip this weekend, whatever it is. And at that point, I'm going to have some drinks. I'm not going to overdo it, and I'm not going to binge drink. So that means I'm not going to get drunk or drink for 4 or 5 days straight. I might have some drinks, on one day or whatever it is, or might have like a casual glass of champagne on one day or each day, but I'm not going to overdo it. And that's really what it's about. It's about not overdoing it. And then after you've done this, what are you going to do? You have to get back on track that next day. So you have to make sure you're hydrating the body with water. You go back to training. You go back to your routine of eating properly, detoxifying the body. And this is where glutathione really comes into play. Because if you're drinking, take some shots of glutathione and you're going to feel a lot better. Plus, it's a great detoxifier for the body without making people go to the bathroom and such. Like, you shouldn't have to take a detoxifying therapy or drink or whatever it is and then feel like sick and nauseous and have to go to the bathroom all day. You shouldn't be like that. It should not work like that. So that's where another thing with glutathione that really, really works the best. All right. Frank Carlo, 316, Craig Beasley, Burkhart Bill, what's up? Luna Fit, what's going on? Alter Ego Kathy, how you doing? Dan Bear, No Way Jose, Call Me Sunshine, just join in. Thank you guys for all supporting my Titan Talk Tuesday. I'm here with you guys every Tuesday, answering all your questions or concerns or whatever it is, maybe about our therapies, about some things we're covering. No, Dwayne, I'm sorry, we cannot service Ohio yet. Still working on that state, man. From the pandemic and stuff like that, they have really, really started locking down on their state as far as out-of-state practitioners. Even though I have a doctor that's licensed in Ohio, they still don't like if you're not physically there. They don't like it. They're trying to protect their providers' patients, because with the emergency orders, everybody went out everywhere. And at that point, it did cause some friction with the state, and they started doing these different things. So we had to abide by their state law. So I'm sorry, for right now, we are not servicing Ohio or Idaho. I know, and I love their potatoes. I'm really mad they won't let me in that state. But everywhere else, we can service. So if you guys are interested in glutathione, AOD, CJC, IGF-1, HRT, just blood work to see where you're at, right? Just to make sure all your hormones are optimal, all your vital organs are good, cholesterol is great, blood cell count and everything are looking great. If you're a guy, you want to make sure the prostate's there, right? Girls, total estrogens, DHEA, and we all have B12. We want to make sure that's good too as well. Plus, we can do a number of other tests. Libido enhancers, male and female. It's really big to have a good sexual relationship with your partner. That doesn't mean that people need libido enhancers or erectile dysfunction medications. But they want to enjoy themselves a little bit more. You want to step up that pleasure a little bit more in the bedroom. Hey, we can help you out. If you need it, hey, we can help you out one way or another. It doesn't really matter. And like I said, guys and girls, because girls suffer from sexual dysfunction too as well. Not being able to achieve orgasms and such. There's a lot of different things that go along with that. Girls often complain, especially if they're postmenopausal or menopausal, vaginal dryness, right? Hot flashes, a lot of different things come with this, weight gain. They don't know what's going on. They're doing everything the exact same, but it's just one of these trials and tribulations of life. Life throws us these curveballs, and what happens in life? We're born, we live, and we die. So at that point, that's what it does, and we start breaking down just like anything else on this earth. All right, so could glutathione help speed up knocking out the rash? Possibly. I can't tell you yes or no on that. I would never lie. But I don't know. I mean, obviously, listen, if your immune system is pumping, right? And this is why I like thymosin alpha 1 the best. Because thymosin alpha 1, if I was looking for the best immune system booster, that's not an antioxidant, it would be thymosin alpha 1. And it doesn't defeat oxidative stress, free radicals, or anything like that. But it attacks the bad cells in the body and helps them, replicate to good cells, right? Or defeats them. And that's why I really like thymosin alpha 1 for that. So that might actually be a better one for you, but glutathione is going to help with inflammation too. And that's part of the thing when you have this rash. So it could possibly help. I would definitely maybe give it a shot if you want to try to help it out faster. It might be a good one to add into the lineup. All right, guys. So let's talk about our next topic, right? For all you medical marijuana patients out there, okay? Now, medical marijuana is a great thing for a lot of different people out there. It's helped a lot of different people, from our soldiers or veterans, PTSD. If you have seizures, if you have migraines, there's a lot of different medical benefits that we can get from medical marijuana. But the big thing out there is pregnant women in particular using marijuana. So, when Charisse got pregnant with Peter, one of her friends told her, because she was having really bad morning sickness, and she told her, yeah, well, you can just smoke some marijuana. Dude, I heard that, man. I almost choked this girl out. I'm like, don't you ever tell my wife at that time, I'm like, that she can smoke marijuana while she's pregnant. I am totally against that, 110%, just so you guys know. Anything that's going to possibly affect that child that has no way to defend itself in any way, shape, or form and can cause negative side effects to that child, I am not with, okay? I'm definitely not with it at all. Smoking, whatever it is, I'm just not with it. So she tells her this, and I told her absolutely not, 100% absolutely not. And I got her these bands. So if your wife, girlfriend, significant other ever gets pregnant and has morning sickness, there are bands you can go buy, and they really do work, right? They hit pressure points in. But that's beside the point. So medical marijuana. So they've done some studies here, and basically they've done studies on medical marijuana smokers that were pregnant. And at this point, what happens is you don't have to, let's say you stop smoking when you're about to give birth, right? Maybe a week before. Well, you're going to produce breast milk. And at this point, what this study is showing is that THC, the active ingredient, chemical in medical marijuana, can stay in the breast milk up to 6 weeks afterwards. So this is 6 weeks, right? And you have to feed your child. So it's either you feed them formula, at that point, because you can't feed them, you don't want to feed them milk with THC in it, because now this study did not cover the side effects, to what can happen to the child when you're feeding them breast milk with THC in it, but there are other studies linked to THC and adverse effects to children. So, the science is there. So at that point, if you're smoking medical marijuana and you're pregnant, please stop. I'm just asking you guys. And at that point, make sure you guys are making the right choices. The findings show that, women need support stopping cannabis, use during pregnancy and breastfeeding. So if you're that supporting partner, make sure you tell them where your stance is and the reasons why. Why go through a pregnancy of 9 months, a child that's going to be on this earth and not give them the best possible chance and opportunity to have a great, fulfilling life with everything, right? And a healthy life. That's the most important. So at that point, it's pretty weird, that people think it's okay to even do this. But hey, listen, to each is their own, I guess. But, these studies like this should show us or teach us that some of these things are not good in some situations and scenarios. And I'm a high proponent of medical marijuana. So I think it's a great thing, and I think it helps a lot of different people out there. But in the case of pregnant women, for nausea, or because they're already hungry, for nausea though, not good. I just don't think that's the best possible situation or solution, for a pregnant woman. All right, so next one is Apple's digital car key will soon work with your iPhone in your pocket. I think this is so cool. So your iPhone will basically be your key to your car. It will unlock your car. It will help you start your car. The battery can be off for 5 hours, dead, and still work on your car as far as unlocking it and starting it. So it's really, really cool. And it's secure. So a lot of people had issues with this possibly not being secure. And this is very, very secure. So at that point, everything's going to be on our phone. Our phone is going to have everything on it. It's going to have our driver's license. You can hold your registration on there, your license, your insurance, your keys, and even hold your credit cards. I have my American Express on there, and I can just tap it on something, and boom, it's done. So it's really, really cool. Technology is taking us in a way where we're not going to need much. I could definitely see some sort of microchip coming soon to install for biotech, where they have everything engraved on a chip. This is movie stuff we're talking about, and it's happening in real life. So really, really crazy stuff here. All right, so the weekly poll. So what do you take to boost your immune system defense? 22% said nothing. I don't need a boost to it. That's fine. 11% said no. Why would I need to do that? Okay, well, there's a couple big reasons why. You have bacteria, viruses all over. You want to make sure your immune system is up to par. Free radicals, another big one. That's just not with the immune system, but with everything. 27% said yes, I take over-the-counter supplements. Okay, and 38% said yes, I take Titan therapies like Nectar of the Gods, TA1, thymosin alpha-1, and glutathione. That's awesome. Now, Nectar of the Gods has some glutathione in too as well. So that's another big therapy. So those are great 3 therapies for immune system function. Nectar of the Gods, glutathione, and thymosin alpha-1. So I think that's about it, guys. I think we've had a pretty quick show. I want to at least get all this information out to you guys. And I would never miss a show. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in for the new scheduled time at 5 p.m. We'll be back at 6 next week and continuously on. Unless there's something big that happens, and I'll let you guys know, and we'll always reschedule it or schedule for a different time. So I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. It's been a great Titan Talk Tuesday. I hope I've answered all you guys' good questions out there. If you have more, please hit me up Tuesday of next week, 6 p.m. for another Titan Talk Tuesday with me, John, CEO of Titan Medical Center. I'll see you next week. I appreciate all you guys that have tuned in to support me. Thank you guys so much. And Ange, I got you. You're on the list for another Titan gear item. So please call or text the line, and I'll make sure you get hooked up. I appreciate you guys. Fitness DMK, you too, man. I got another shirt for you too as well. All right? So I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys later.